We're going to go into the top 5 Super Bowl performances. For me, I'll start at 1 for this. Since you started at 1, I'll start out with a bang. Steve Young, Super Bowl 29, 6 tutties.
Love that.
6 tutties.
That's a good pick.
Number 1, 6 tutties. That was when Steve Young, kind of emerged out of Joe Montana's shadow. He became his own man. He became his own quarterback. That was the moment. And even Steve said he had all that pressure. He felt that way for a certain reason, which, you're getting trained to be great.
You're replacing the GOAT.
At the time, yes.
Joe Montana was universally recognized as the best quarterback who ever touched
100%. 100%.
So that's hard shoes to fill.
Yeah, it is. Number 2 for me, man, these sunglasses are so dark, guys. I can barely read it. Timmy Smith, Super Bowl 22.
Ooh.
22 rushes, 204 yards, still a Super Bowl record for rushing yards, and he's the only rookie in Super Bowl history to score 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Man was a beast. And you know what's crazy about that game? He wasn't even supposed to start that game. He found out when he was on the sideline, hey, you're starting. Like, bro, that's wild to me. And I'm not a big Redskins guy, but you gotta commemorate that. Like, you gotta give kudos to that one. I mean,
and the Redskins are now the Commanders. If those who don't watch football,
or forgot that they were the Redskins. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Timmy Smith, number 2. Number 3 for me, I'm gonna go Super Bowl. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Super Bowl 28. Super Bowl 28. James Washington against the Bills.
Okay. Wow, you're bringing way back.
An interception, a fumble recovery, and a touchdown for safety in the one game in the Super Bowl. You don't see that from a defensive player, period, like in any game. So, I mean, I think that's iconic, and, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I had to throw that in there at 3. Number 4, I got Jerry Rice, Super Bowl 23, 215 yards, a touchdown. Iconic performance, still the most receiving yards in a Super Bowl game. Got to throw that one in there. Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver of all time. Got to give him his credit.
Hold on. You said what?
He's the greatest receiver of all time. He's got the most yards of all time for a receiver, most touchdowns. I mean, how can you argue that?
We'll go back to that. I don't know about all that. But
number 5, we'll go Super Bowl 18. Marcus Allen, 191 yards rushing. At the time was the rushing yards record.
Marcus Allen Raiders? Wow.
At the time was the rushing yards record. 2 touchdowns. At the time was the rushing yard record. And in that game, bro, if you remember, Marcus Allen has a 74-yard touchdown out of nothing. Out of nothing, dude. Iconic. Marcus Allen, one of my favorite running backs of all time. Just absolute stud. Okay. Those are my 5 player performances.
Okay, well, I'm going to go a different direction here. I'm going to educate. I feel like today we need to, instead of antics and entertainment, let's educate. Show some credibility in the stuff we're talking about. I like that. I like how you brought it old school, man. You really kicked it old school. My number 1 performance is going to be Joe Namath, all right? The Super Bowl against the Colts, Johnny Unitas. They were a 13.5-point underdog. Man sitting in a beast chair, and he guaranteed a victory. It saved pro football, bro. It saved pro football. Like, his victory, he called his shot, and they won. And quite frankly, I don't think people are still surprised that even happened. I mean, had no business being in that game. Number 4, I hate to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up. Niners-Dolphins Super Bowl. Last time we went with Marino, and Montana decided 331 yards and 3 touchdowns, and then he ran for 59 yards and a touchdown. Swamped us.
I'll give you that one.
Joe Montana, that was a great performance.
That's a solid.
We're gonna go Jerry Rice at my 3.
The same one I had.
Same one I have. He had 11 passes, 215. Tutty, Supreme Ice. That's Supreme. Like Supreme Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice was amazing.
Supreme Ice, Jerry Rice. That rhymes,
Supreme
guys.
Ice, Jerry Rice. And then I'm going to go Kurt Warner for my 4, man. The dude was stocking groceries. The dude was an arena football quarterback. And then he goes, picks up a very complex offense in that system. And they become, in the modern era during that time, the greatest show on turf, greatest offense ever. Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Falk. I mean, those dudes were studs, man.
They were. That was a really fun team to watch, bro. They were explosive.
Coaches. Is it Dick Vermeil?
Yeah.
Dick Vermeil. I mean, great coaches. And then my 5 is going to be Steve Young, 6 touchdowns. That Super Bowl, again, the pressure on that man to go fill shoes. It's the equivalent of Mac Jones trying to fill Brady's shoes.
Yeah.
And vice versa. It's equivalent between Jordan Love trying to replace Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers trying to replace Brett Favre. Except this guy goes in there and he tops Montana's all his Super Bowl performances and gives you 6 tutties.
And not everyone can fulfill those shoes.
It's a tough thing to do.
It's a tough ask. It's really a tough ask.
Man, dude, it's the Niners at that time were the Patriots in terms of Niners and Cowboys were the best 2 organizations during that time, and man, the Niners knew how to mold quarterbacks. I'll tell you that.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby. Yeah, Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold 'cause I put my